It's normal to be nervous about moving, starting a new career, or taking an exam. Although this feeling is unpleasant, sometimes it may encourage us to work harder and accomplish a better job. But sometimes the fear of losing is pretty intense and may be with us all the time. This type of anxiety may cause you to stop doing things you enjoy. In extreme cases, it may prevent us from entering an elevator, crossing the street, or even leaving our home. In this video, we discuss 5 things anxious people do alone secretly. Overthinking. Worrying about your health, finances, or family troubles is totally normal. But on the other hand, people with anxiety are highly worried and nervous about these and other things, even when there is little or no reason to care about them at the time. These types of anxiety disorders are characterized by excessive or disproportionate concern and fear that interferes with daily activities. Do you ever notice how mind jumps to the worst-case scenario? And do you find yourself over-preparing as a result of this? Anxiety can often skew our judgment of what is going on around us, causing us to react in ways that do not match the problem at hand. Things that would typically be a breeze can become overpowering, or we may become agitated over little duties. Perhaps you have an appointment at 11 a.m., but you're anxious about traffic, not being able to find your destination, car problems, parking restriction, forgotten belongings, and anything else that could cause you to be late. As a result, you arrive half an hour early. Perhaps you were afraid of making a phone call or traveling to a new location. All of this is because during times of anxiety, our bodies are on high alert, ready to fight or flee at any moment. Most people who suffer from anxiety prefer to linger on negative ideas about themselves and their mistakes in the past. They may relive events of the past in their minds over and over, wondering what they could have done better. They may also picture probable future situations, attempting to predict what might go wrong and what might cause them discomfort. An anxious mind tends to spiral, and one way it may do so is by reviewing an incident after it has occurred. Perhaps you paid for a sandwich and said thank you too many times, or you spoke up in a meeting and messed up your words. It makes you obsessed with the minor, inconsequential elements of interactions. Not leaving their comfort zone. An anxious person may believe that staying in their comfort zone means avoiding what makes them anxious. Everyone has anxiety from time to time, but people who suffer from an anxiety disorder continually change their life to accommodate their anxiety. Uncomfortable levels of uncertainty cause a lot of the anxiety that comes with leaving your comfort zone. The more we are scared, the smaller our comfort zone becomes and the more difficult it is to break free from it. As a result, rather than picking activities merely for enjoyment or out of curiosity, they may stick to hobbies that calm their racing thoughts or pursuits that allow them to avoid the things that make them feel nervous. For example, they may replay the same shows over and over because they don't have to worry about what will happen next. It may take a lot of mental strength for them to venture into new series. A person suffering from some type of anxiety may be unable to leave the house because they are afraid of being in locations or situations where escape may be difficult. Others may find it difficult to leave the house without a specific individual they are terrified of losing. Procrastinate to finish a task. People will occasionally hesitate because they are anxious about the task that needs to be completed. For example, someone who is nervous about checking their bills may frequently postpone doing so. Although doing so will not solve the problem, you may be lazy because you are depressed or suffering a loss. Depression is commonly characterized by laziness and a lack of motivation. While someone may believe they are being lazy, they may not be seeing indicators of depression or dealing with the feelings associated with the loss. People frequently think that procrastination is simply a matter of willpower, but the reality is far more complex. When presented with a decision to make or a task to accomplish, we normally rely on our self-control to get things done. Furthermore, our motivation, which is based on the hope of earning some sort of reward for our efforts, can enhance our self-control and increase the likelihood that we will complete tasks on time. However, there are a variety of demotivating factors like anxiety, fear of failure, and other negative emotions that we can encounter that have the opposite effect on our motivation, making us more likely to delay. People with anxiety, particularly those with high-functioning anxiety, may appear to be entirely self-sufficient achievers. While it is true that they are capable, they may struggle with the process of completing their work when they are alone. Anxious thoughts may cause someone to procrastinate or postpone tasks. Anxiety also has an impact on working memory, making it harder to maintain concentration long enough to accomplish activities efficiently. Procrastination is common when a task appears too tough. A person avoids taking on a challenge because they are afraid they will not perform a good enough job. They may not feel up to the task and may even feel anxious or guilty, which makes them avoid it even more. Avoid social interaction. When we are suffering from poor mental health, it is easy to feel disconnected from other people and the world around us. After all, there's so much going on within our thoughts that it's natural for us to take a break from daily life. Those of you who know someone who suffers from anxiety are aware that they are frequently avoiding situations that make them nervous. Anxiety overwhelms them and causes them to shut down. It's far too much. Someone suffering from social anxiety, for example, may avoid social events. Fear and worry in social anxiety disorder lead to avoidance, which can affect your life. Severe stress can have a negative impact on your relationships, everyday routines, work, school, and other activities. Some persons who suffer from anxiety may have a limited social life. They may appear to reject invitations out of lack of interest in others, but they are actually choosing to stay at home to calm their worries and fears. In other situations, the person may avoid social engagements because of a paralyzing dread of being embarrassed, rejected, or looked down on. Anxious people may withdraw socially, not to recharge their social batteries, but to cope with their fears. In an attempt to manage their anxiety, they may avoid their phones, ignore or turn off their message and email notifications. When they notice their backlog of messages, they may feel overwhelmed and anxious all over again. Tossing and turning in bed. Sleeping problems are extremely common, and anxiety is frequently to blame for your tossing and turning. Do you find that as soon as your head touches the pillow, your mind begins to rush and wander over the stress of the day? You may get the sensation that your mind is rushing and that you are unable to stop your thoughts. You may be distracted with the problems of the day or thinking about the things on your to-do list for the next day. This imagined stress might lead the body to experience an adrenaline rush, making falling asleep extremely difficult. Anxiety does not immediately transfer into restless, twitchy energy that others can detect. Someone suffering from anxiety may appear calm and peaceful on the surface, but in reality, they may be shifting left-right all night, unable to sleep due to their anxious thoughts. If they do get some sleep, it may be restless and unpleasant, or it may be riddled with nightmares about their fears. Anxiety may result in more distressing nightmares and a greater likelihood of sleep disruptions. Nightmares can promote bad associations and fear of sleeping. Even after falling asleep, people may wake up in the middle of the night with anxiety. Getting back to sleep can be difficult if their thoughts begin to race with stress. This can result in sleep fragmentation, which reduces both the quantity and quality of sleep. At the same time, there is significant evidence that sleeping problems are more than just a symptom of anxiety. Sleep deprivation, on the other hand, can cause or worsen anxiety disorders. Researchers noted that those who are prone to anxiety are especially vulnerable to the consequences of insufficient sleep, which can trigger anxiety symptoms. There will be times in everyone's lives when they may be frustrated with their own ideas and behaviors. And when it comes to anxiety, it's tempting to blame ourselves for how it affects how we go about our daily lives. This is not easy, but the key here is self-love and self-acceptance. Let yourself off the hook. Prioritize your well-being. Understand that your feelings are valid and that it's okay to put your health and comfort first. On this note, we will end our video. If you like our video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. And feel free to share your experiences in the comment box and never feel that you are alone in this battle.